Okay, so chapter 9, it talks about the most confidential knowledge. And what is that most confidential knowledge? Krishna is going to talk about unalloyed devotion. Okay, and before we start the class, please let us take the blessings of the beautiful deities of ISKCON Mangaluru, Sri Radha Govinda Ji. Sri Radha Govinda Ji ki Jai. Okay, so let's see the synopsis of chapter 9. So, in the chapter 8, that is in the previous chapter, Krishna has explained that an Ananya means unalloyed devotee, he surpasses the path of light and darkness. Right? He is beyond the path of light and darkness. So, he can leave his body at any time. There is no restriction. So, now Krishna will explain how to become such a devotee. So, supremacy of bhakti. Chapter 8 concludes that bhakti is the best form of yoga. So, chapter 9 supplies the specific knowledge required for performing that most confidential yoga. So, now Krishna will give that confidential knowledge of unalloyed devotion, how to perform and what is it. Knowledge about unalloyed devotion, Krishna is going to give in this chapter. So chapter 7 and 9, both are identical, Krishna says. So what we saw in chapter 7 is knowledge of absolute truth. So here also we are going to see knowledge of Krishna, but through unalloyed devotion. Okay. So chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So what are the topics that will be covered here is hearing about Krishna. So hearing is very important. Hearing about Krishna, qualifications and the disqualifications are explained. Aishwarya Gnana, Krishna's Achintya Beda relationship with the material world, non-worshippers and worshippers, and then Krishna is the supreme object of worship and the glories of directly worshipping Krishna. So today we'll just see till non-worshippers and worshippers. So in the next class we'll see the remaining two. So, hearing about Krishna, qualifications and disqualifications. So, non enviousness allows one to hear confidential knowledge about Krishna, and faithlessness force one to birth and death. So, 9.1 Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam प्रवक्ष्यामि अनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे अशुभात्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Supreme Lord said, My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most secret wisdom, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. So now Krishna is telling Arjuna, I will speak to you the most confidential knowledge because why? The main important qualification is you are not envious, right? And you should not be envious of the Lord. So you are not envious of me. So that this is very important. This qualification, envious, we should never be envious of Krishna, right? Spiritual knowledge is not just about some intelligence, it is about the what do you say, the attitude of the heart, right? Spirituality is about it is connected to the heart. It's not how much knowledge you gain, spiritual knowledge you gain. See, if someone thinks that, oh, out of envy he thinks, why should I accept Krishna as supreme, why should God be the enjoyer, why should I surrender to Krishna, I am equal to Krishna, maybe I am also God, because some people think that human beings are God, right? So that way he thinks maybe I am also God. Okay, so envy means what? Basically, why do we envy Krishna? Because we want independence from Krishna. So we don't want dependence on Krishna. So if you envy Krishna, then what happens? Then the doors stay closed. Okay, But Arjuna is not such a candidate, right? Arjuna is not jealous. He's not competing with God. So the door is open. So the knowledge flows. So that's why Krishna is trying to give the knowledge to Arjuna, because he is non-envious. Okay, so what is this most confidential knowledge that Krishna is giving? See, it is not just about gnana, but vijnana. Gnana means what? Just theoretical knowledge. But vijnana means what? Realized knowledge. That is practical, right? See, when we do practicals, we understand much better than theoretical, right? So here, for example, if you're reading about honey versus tasting honey, so you just read about honey, like honey tastes sweet. But when you do the practicals, like when you really taste it, that is tasting, that is practical, right? That is realized knowledge. So chapter 9 is about tasting. So it is realized knowledge. Okay, and what does this knowledge do? They're saying, see, in the last, miseries, you can be relieved from the miseries of material existence. So if you get this knowledge, what will happen? Krishna is saying, you will be freed from all miseries. And why is it called most confidential? See, why is it most confidential? Because, see, what is confidential? That we saw in chapter 2 and 3. That is knowledge of spirit, soul, and body. That is useful for liberation. So we saw Gnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga in chapter 2 and 3, right? And then in chapter 7 and 8, knowledge which brings about enlightenment about Krishna consciousness, the Supreme Lord and his energies we discussed. And now, most confidential, chapter 9, because it deals with pure, unalloyed devotion and delineates the glories of the Lord. So that is why this is most confidential. So because it deals with unalloyed devotion, pure devotion. There is no karma or gnana involved in it, just to please Krishna. That's all, unalloyed devotion. That is why this is called most confidential. Okay, and Lord Krishna imparts most confidential knowledge and realization to Arjuna. See, and what is the qualification to receive this most confidential knowledge? Anusuyave. We said, right? Free from envy. And what is the means to receive? Through proper hearing. And what are the benefits? We saw, right? Relief from miseries of material existence. You will get liberation from the material world. And it is called Raja Vidya, the king of education. And we saw, right, what are the 9 processes of devotional service? To achieve unalloyed devotional service, you can approach through any one of the 9 processes of devotional service, or you can include all. But if you are perfect in any one of these also, you can go back to Krishna. Either you're perfect in chanting, you're perfect in smaranam, you're perfect in kirtanam, or whatever. In any one of these, if you're perfect, you can go back to Godhead. 9.2 Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This knowledge is the king of education. See, Raja Vidya means king of education. And Raja Guhyam, the most secret of secrets. Pavitram, it is purest knowledge. Uttamam, right? It's the ultimate knowledge. And what? Pratyakshaavagamam. And because it gives direct perception of the self. Dharmyam, by self-realization. So it is the perfection of religion. Dharmyam means susukham, means it is joyfully performed. Kartum avyayam. Avyayam means it's everlasting. So they're telling the what is the property of this knowledge. This knowledge is what? Those properties are listed here. Okay. So what is Krishna saying? Krishna calls this most confidential knowledge as Raja Vidya, it means the king of all education. Raja Guhyam, the king of secrets. Pavitram Uttamam means it's the purest and the ultimate. Uttamam means transcendental, highest. Pratyakshaavagamam, so it is directly experienced. Susukham Kartum means joyfully performed. Susukham. Avyaya means it is everlasting. So, I mean, we should understand that the knowledge that Krishna is explaining to Arjuna is not an ordinary spiritual treasure. It is not ordinary knowledge. Okay, so why is Krishna saying this is the king of education? Right? See, actually, in this material world, if you see, there are many universities for teaching physics, maths, politics, whatever. But where is the university for educating, giving education about the soul? Do we have any university for that? No, right? We don't have. So this knowledge that Krishna is going to explain is going to answer about all these questions like who am I, who is God, what is my relationship with Him. Okay, so definitely we need material education. That there's no doubt about that. See, material education is needed to maintain our body, right? We need money to maintain this body, so we have to eat, we have to stay in a particular place, we have to buy clothes. So definitely we need material education. So but that is not all in all. Okay, so we need, because we are the souls, we are not this body, so we need to even nourish our soul, right? So this knowledge that Krishna is giving, that gives nourishment to the soul, right? The next, why Krishna is saying this knowledge is the king of secrets. What is the first secret? First secret is I am not this body. What everybody thinks generally, everybody thinks I am this body. Before they read the Bhagavad Gita, everybody thinks I am the body, and they give all comforts to this body. But the first secret everybody should know is I am not this body. But the greatest secret is revealed in this chapter. And what is that? The soul's eternal activity is loving service to Krishna. See, we are what? Jivas, souls. And Jiva, what's the Swarupa of this Jiva? Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. The soul's eternal activity is loving service to Krishna. Okay? So that is the main secret that is revealed in chapter 9. And next, what are they saying? 1 second. Yeah, we discussed this, right? Raja Vidya, king of all knowledge. Then is Rajaguhya, most confidential knowledge. Next, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam. Okay, Pavitram means, Idam Uttamam means it is the purest form of all activities. So, the purifying potency of devotional service is very strong. So strong, it is purifying. See, we'll see here. See, why do we generally commit sins? Because we are in avidya or ignorance, right? We don't know what is right, what to do, what not to do. When we are in avidya, ignorance, we do sins, right? The bija means, bija is the sinful desire. Like the, you feel like doing it. It is there in your thought, mind process, right? That is the seed of sinful desire, bija. Then next, papam, you do the sinful action. Okay, you implement that action, you do that sinful action. Aprarabdha means unmanifest reactions, means you do the sinful act, but it's still not, the result is not still visible for you. See, when you do a sinful activity, it's not necessary that the result comes immediately. It may come in the next janma, whatever. I mean, like whenever. It depends on how long or when you will get it. So aprarabdha means that result is still not, you've not seen it. Kutam means sinful disposition. So kutam means it is the inner sinful propensity that is there within us, but it is waiting for the correct opportunity. See, we don't know that sinful propensity is there. It will come out when that the correct situation comes out. Okay, so we don't know whether we are going to perform that sin, but it is there deep inside. But when that correct situation comes, it will come out in the form of bija. So it repeats, see, bija, then papam, aprarabdha, kutam. So this cycle repeats. Okay, and prarabdha means manifest reaction. See, once the whatever sinful thing you have done, the result is visible for you. That is prarabdha karma, prarabdha sin, right? Manifest reaction. You can see it as sufferings. See, the result when prarabdha means what are the sufferings you get? Generally, you are born in a poor family, or you have many it appears in the form of diseases, chronic diseases, or you have lawsuits. So that is your prarabdha, the sufferings that come to you. Okay, all these are there, right? They are saying just by doing this devotional service, all the sins that you've accumulated right from the seed, everything can be eradicated. All the prarabdha, prarabdha, whatever, all will be eradicated just by doing devotional service. That's what they're trying to say. It is pavitram idam uttamam. Okay, so see, I'll tell you. See, sinful reaction generally has four stages. We have seen, right? Kutam, Bija, Papam, Aprarabdha. So it has four stages. Like growth of a tree from a seed has different stages. Okay, Pavitram implies all the four stages can be purified. So you are all whatever sinful reactions you have done, you will be they'll be nullified, or you'll be purified from all the sinful reactions. They will become zero provided you do unalloyed devotional service. So it is so pure. Pavitram idam uttamam. So it's the purest form of all activities. Uttamam. It is beyond tamas. Okay, it's beyond material activities. Tamas means what? This material world is full of ignorance, darkness, right? So it is beyond that. This devotional service is beyond the material activities. Okay, so further they're saying it is direct experience, pratyakshaavagamam, right? Direct perception of self by realization. So here Krishna says this is not some blind belief. Okay, Krishna says it is pratyaksha. It can be directly perceived. How? Okay, by practicing devotional service in the association of advanced devotees. How can you see it directly? When you see, when you chant sincerely, you serve sincerely, you associate with devotees, then what happens? All your impurities slowly that start going. Your heart becomes lighter. So attachment to material things lessens. I mean, it weakens. Okay, and then taste for Krishna awakens. So you can see all this happening. Okay, you don't intentionally, I mean, like, see, many people who come to Krishna consciousness, initially, they don't leave anything. See, some people they are meat eating, some people they drink coffee, some people they eat onion garlic. No, we don't force anybody to leave anything. We just ask them to chant. That's all. But just by chanting, they automatically they give up all these onion garlic eating, tea coffee drinking, meat eating. Automatically it happens, or you can see it by yourself just by practicing devotional service. Okay, start by chanting. So we never say anybody do give up this, give up that. We don't say anything. We just say, please start chanting. That's all. Okay, and that with that they themselves they say I mean, like earlier we tried so much to give up tea coffee, we were not able to give up, but just by chanting, I don't know what happened, but we are easily able to give up tea coffee now, right? It is like that. You can see the results by yourself. Everything you get purified slowly, one by one. Okay, by devotional service, it is pratyaksha woman, you can see it. Okay. And what is the qualification? Advancement is irrespective of previous education or qualification. So it's not qualification. You don't need any education or qualification for this, for to obtain this knowledge. Just if you're sincere, if you're interested to learn, you're a qualified candidate for that. It's not that you should have some PhD or something. Nothing like that. No qualification required. No caste, no qualification, no creed, nothing. Is your interest, if you have interest in doing devotional service, that itself is the biggest qualification. Okay. So next, dharmyam, it is the perfection of religion. So dharmyam, perfection of religion means dharma. See, dharma means it is not about just rituals or customs. So it does not depend on nationality or birth or social position. See, dharma means, what we should understand is, the term dharma spiritually means the natural duty of the soul. See, what is fire's dharma? Fire's dharma is to give heat. Sugar's dharma is to be sweet. Salt's dharma is to be salty, right? And lemon's dharma is to be sour. So, like that, and the sun's dharma is to shine. Like that, the soul's dharma is to love and serve the Supreme Lord. Okay, so when that service is directed to Krishna, that is called dharmyam. Okay, so that dharmyam they are talking about here. And next, susukam, blissful. So all of you must be knowing, have experience now. If you go to the temple, susukam, prasadam is blissful, kirtan is blissful, the listening to the pastimes of Krishna is blissful, right? Chanting in the association of devotees, attending Mangalarti, that is blissful. So everything that you see here is blissful. You do devotional service in the association of devotees, that is blissful. So everything is so happy. I mean, like everything that in Krishna consciousness is blissful. Okay, just read, hear, chant, offer bhoga with love. That's it. See, bhakti does not demand any wealth. It just asks for heart. Give your heart to Krishna, right? Give yourself to Krishna. Okay, that is what Krishna wants, right? Avyayam, eternally lasting. Okay, so other parts, if you see other parts other than bhakti, they may say that we merge into God or silence or something. But bhakti continues eternally. See, in this material world, we serve Lord Krishna, right? Even after we get liberated and go to the spiritual world, there also we continue to serve the Lord. We never lose our individuality, like the impersonal Brahmans, right? They want to lose their personality, individuality, and they want to become one with the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. But devotees are not interested like that. They maintain their individuality, and even after liberation, when they go to the spiritual world, they serve. They want to serve Krishna there. So they want to maintain that relationship with Krishna even after liberation. Okay, and Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, right, in second chapter, he says that we were individuals in the past, we will be individuals in the future also, right? So we maintain a separate individuality. So we are everlasting. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Avyayam, eternally everlasting. 9.3. अश्रद्धदानाः पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसारवर्त्मन्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of foes, but return to birth and death in this material world. See, now here it's very important. Faith in devotional service is very, very important. If you don't have faith, you will definitely fall down from the path of bhakti. Okay, so Krishna is saying those who do not have faith in this process of devotional service, they cannot attain me. They again return to the cycle of birth and death. Okay, right. So what is faith here? See, faith does not mean some blind belief. Okay, so it means firm conviction. Okay, if I serve Krishna, I will achieve everything. I will get everything. It's like watering the root of a tree. So you don't have to separately water each leaf or each branch or each flower, fruit, like that. So if you just water the root, the whole tree is nourished. Similarly, if you serve Krishna, all the duties are fulfilled. So everything becomes perfect. So that conviction is called Shraddha. Okay. So, how is faith created? So, you have to be there in the association of devotees for sure, and better more in the association of sincere devotees. Okay. So these are the different types of three levels. We all know, right? Earlier we've discussed three levels of devotees are there with different faiths. Uttamadikari, Madhyamadikari, Kanishta Adhikari. So, okay, the third level is the lowest. He has no faith at all. I mean, he does, but his faith is wavered. Anytime his faith can fall down. If somebody says Krishna is not Supreme Personality of Godhead or Lord Shiva is, so he immediately accepts and he goes off. So that is the third level, lowest kind of faith, right? And next is second level is Madhyama Adhikari. Here, maybe he is not in a position to quote from the Shastras, but he has firm faith, right? That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he stays strong. But maybe to others, when others ask him, can you show proof that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He may not be able to show, I mean, like quote shlokas, but he has that firm faith. Nobody can shake him from that faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And first level is firm faith, like he has firm faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he can quote from the scriptures also. He is Uttama Adhikari. Okay, he is the highest, right? So he will not fall down for sure. The first and second level, they will not fall down for sure. Okay. So development of that faith is the process of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so you have to be there in the association of devotees, sincere devotees who have that faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by serving Krishna, all other purposes are fulfilled. Then you will have that faith, and then you will be able to continue your devotional service throughout. Okay, see, but when the like sometimes when your faith is weak and your devotion becomes negotiable, then it's like a person may say, I will chant, but first I want to settle materially, right? Some people are like that, right? They want to do this, then they want to do spiritual and they want to do material also. They'll say, okay, I will chant, but at the same time, at first I want to settle materially. First, I want to secure everything materially first. Okay, and some people will say, I will surrender, but only if it fits my plan. If it fits my schedule and everything, I will surrender. Okay, and some people they say that, okay, I believe in Krishna conscious process, but just in case, I mean, like in the worst case, let me rely on something else. He just keeps a backup. Okay, so and when you keep backup options, you cannot be steady in bhakti. See, when you have firm faith that bhakti can give me everything, why do you need a backup? See, there, that itself is showing that you have no faith. When you keep a backup means you have no faith. Okay, and see, for example, see some people, they come to devotional life when they are distressed, when they either they become bankrupt or their business is in full loss or something like that. They come when they're distressed, right? But these people, when they get back all their material comfort, see what they lost, they get after doing devotional service, they get it back. Then these people, they stop doing bhakti because they're under that comfort zone now. I have got everything back. Now I'm safe. Okay, that's why they stop doing bhakti. Okay, so that's why they have that feeling of independence. Now that yeah, I have everything, everything is there with me, enough money I have, so I'm fine now. So and then they stop doing bhakti now. So without firm faith, devotion becomes secondary and it gradually weakens. Okay, so that's why faith grows only in the association of sincere devotees. So we should always be in the association of sincere devotees who can help you progress in Krishna consciousness, who can make you understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if you worship Krishna, nothing else is needed to be done. If you worship Krishna, everything else is done. Okay. Okay, 9.4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyaktamurtina matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastitaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So here Krishna is saying, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. See, by me in my unmanifested form. So, unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. See, Krishna is not physically present in this material universe, right? He is present in his unmanifested form through his energies. Okay, through his energies, he is pervading the entire universe. So that's why he's saying, all beings are in me. So everybody, all of us are there in this Prakriti, right? See, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. See, when Krishna says, I am not in them, we have to understand this. See, for example, I'll try to give you an example. See, imagine the sky. See, all birds are flying in the sky. See, the birds are inside the sky, right? But is the whole sky inside one bird? No, right? Right? So why? Because the sky is much bigger than the bird, right? So in the same way, all of us live because of Krishna. See, we are inside his energy. He is supporting everyone. But Krishna is not trapped inside any one person. See, he is not small like us. He is unlimited and he is undependent. I mean, independent. Okay, so here when Krishna says, I am not in them, means like I am not controlled by them. Okay, I'm not limited by them. I'm greater than all of them. Okay, so we understand that we all depend on Krishna, but Krishna does not depend on us. See, I am not in them means that Krishna is not dependent on us, but we are. All beings are in me means we are dependent on Krishna, but I am not in them means Krishna is not dependent on us. Okay? So 9.5. Nacha matstan न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूतभावनः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And yet, everything that is created that does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, still myself is the very source of creation. So here, okay, that is 9.6. Okay, so here, okay. So when we see Krishna, we generally sometimes people imagine God like a giant person carrying the universe on his shoulders, right? Like how we see that Atlas carrying the whole globe, right? He feels tired and like that, like that. Okay, so God is not like that. Krishna is not struggling. He's not tired. He's not burdened. So everything exists in this world by his energies, but he remains completely free and untouched. Okay, so Krishna says, I create everything, I maintain everything, I withdraw everything, and still I remain separate and complete. Right? So Krishna does everything through his energies. Okay, so he maintains everything, he creates everything, he destroys, annihilates everything, but still he's separate. He's untouched by this material world. He's always above the material world because he's transcendental. He has nothing to do with this material world, right? Though he, through his energies, runs the material world, he is untouched by the material world. Okay, he is always independent, he is always separate, right? So here, Yogam Aishwaram means inconceivable mystic opulences of the Lord. So everything that is created that does not rest in me means what? When Krishna is saying that everything that is created does not rest in me, means it implies that everything rests in him, still he is aloof and not directly concerned with maintenance. See, that's what he's saying. Though everything in this material world is taken care by my energies, I am untouched. Okay, though everything is happening under my supervision through my energies, I am untouched. Like physically, I'm not there. I'm independent. Okay, he's aloof and directly and not directly concerned with, see, directly he's not concerned with the maintenance, indirectly, right? Through his energies, so he's not concerned. That's what they're trying to say. See, not like Atlas, who is tired of holding the globe. Okay. Okay. So 9.7, O son of Kunti, at the end of millennium all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. I'm sorry, I think I feel one step back. Yeah, 9.6 I forgot. As the mighty wind blowing everywhere always rests in ethereal space, know that in the same manner all beings rest in me. Okay, so here Krishna is saying, is he is comparing, giving one comparison. See, the sky is very big. So the wind moves everywhere inside the sky. Okay, so the wind is very powerful, but the wind, it never goes outside the sky, right? The sky holds it. So the wind has to go wherever, how powerful the wind is, it is within the sky, right? The sky holds it. Similarly, everything in this universe, be it the sun, moon, planets, people, animals, trees, exists within Krishna's energy. So nothing can move without his will. See, the sun, it comes at a particular time every day. The moon comes at a particular day. And the planets, you see, they stay in their orbit so nicely arranged, right? People, like all of us, animals, trees, everything are running so properly in this Prakriti, right? All exist within Krishna's energy. So nothing, all of us are dependent on Krishna's will. So not even a blade of grass can move without the permission of Krishna. Okay. So although everything rests in Krishna, Krishna, I mean, like Krishna supports, though Krishna, he supports everything, he remains separate and untouched. He is independent. Okay.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, what does aloof means, and what is its context with Lord Krishna when he is
Aloof means he's
pervading in the universe?
that's what Prabhuji. Aloof means he's different. He's away from. See, though everything he's taking care of in the material world through his energies, he is always aloof from the material world. He is untouched by the material world. Okay, he's independent, right? Through his energies, he is running the material world. He's never in direct contact with the material world. So aloof means being far away from this material world. He's untouched. Aloof means. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So, O son of Kunti, 9.7, O son of Kunti, at the end of millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. So here Krishna is saying, see, this is they're talking about like Brahma. See, when Brahma's 100 years are completed, the what do you say, the big pralaya, the main pralaya comes, and everything is annihilated. Right? They're talking about that. See, at the end of the millennium, at end of the millennium means it is equal to 100 years of Brahma's age. All material manifestations, including everything, Swarga, Siddhaloka, Brahmaloka, everything, earthly planets, the hellish planets, everything, all enter into my nature. So everything enters into Mahavishnu, right? And it everything disappears. And again, at the beginning of another millennium, and again, when at his will, whenever Krishna wants, when the next millennium starts, he again manifests that creation. Okay, by my potency, Krishna is telling, per my will, I create them again. Okay, so I create and I destroy. So create and destroy means it is not that he creates everything again. It disappears and appears. Like it manifests and unmanifests. That's it. That is the only difference. Right? Hope the difference is clear. Destruction and creation means it comes as a new meaning. You have to create everything again. But manifest and unmanifest is the whole thing just goes into Mahavishnu and it disappears. And in the next millennium, the same thing again appears. So it is not created, it disappears and appears, manifest and unmanifest. Okay. So 9.8. The whole cosmic order is under me. By my will, it is manifested again and again, and by my will, it is annihilated at the end. So the same thing Krishna is saying. See, under my control, material nature gets created again and again. And under my will, Krishna is saying, everything is destroyed at the end. So what is Krishna trying to teach here? He's trying to tell us that the universe, the material universe, is not running randomly. It is not some accident. Some people they think now this Prakriti has just come, there was an expansion and then everything is just created. Right? There was some explosion and this Prakriti emerged and everything is running on its own. They say like that. So it is not nothing. It is not this material universe is not just come out randomly, or it is not some accident. It is not independent. No, that's what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying it works under his supervision. Okay, so material nature is like a powerful machine. See, and see, but a machine does not start by itself, right? Someone else has to go and start the machine. You have to switch the machine on, or you have to push the button for the machine to start, right? It needs a controller, right? So Krishna is that controller for Prakriti, for this material world. Okay, so how does he create this material world? Okay, in the purport, Prabhupada says that all of you know this by the three Vishnus. So Mahavishnu, right? He from his body when he's breathing out, from his pores many innumerable universes come out, and into each universe he expands as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and enters into each of the universe, right? And he starts maintaining each universe. And from that Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, Brahma comes. And into each, again, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu expands as Shirodaka Sai Vishnu, and he enters into every atom, right? Every jiva and every atom also he enters. So that is how they function. Okay. And what about the living entities? See, the living entities, they take birth according to their karma. See, when creation is manifest and unmanifest, the only thing is the soul is there always, right? The soul becomes manifest and unmanifest, that's all. But the thing is, only the body changes based on their karma, on the desires, right? For instance, when he was in his earlier birth, like for instance, I'm just trying to tell you, I mean, like the soul is always there, right? Soul becomes unmanifest before creation, and when creation, again that same soul comes into existence, it becomes manifest but with a different body depending on their karma, okay, or whatever desires they have. Okay, so next is and one most important point here is like, see, even though Krishna creates and sustains everything, he is not entangled. Like we've been discussing in previous shlokas, he is not entangled. Like how a judge, is there, he runs the court, but he is not part of the crimes. He may do many criminal cases he may do, but it does not mean that the judge is part of the crime, right? So, like that. See, the sun shines on everything but does not become dirty. Right? Sunshine is always pure, even though it falls on a gutter or on urine or wherever, it is always, I mean, it's not affected. It does not become dirty, right? So, like that, Krishna is like that. Krishna does everything in this material world, but he never gets entangled. Okay, like that. So, what do we understand? That material nature is under Krishna's control. So, the creation happens again and again per Krishna's will. And living beings, they take bodies according to their karma. Okay. And Krishna, he creates, maintains, dissolves, but still he remains, untouched, and he is free. Right? That we have to understand. So, 9.9. Oh, Dhananjaya, all this work. Oh, Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached, seated as though neutral. Okay, so what does this mean? See, Krishna, he created the universe, he maintains it, he dissolves it, yet none of this binds him. Why? Because he is not doing it out of need or some desire or karma. See, we act because when we come to this material world, we want something or we lack something. Okay, we desire something. So we do something for ourselves, because of which there is some reaction. But for Krishna, he has nothing, right? He is not doing it out of need or desire or karma. He is always complete. He's complete in himself. Okay, so his actions do not create any reactions. Like for us, if we do anything, there is a reaction, good or bad karma will come. But for Krishna, because he's complete within himself, so whatever he does, it does not create any reaction for him. See, for example, if you take the example of the judge, see, think of a high court judge. See, by his order, someone may go to jail, right? Someone may receive money, somebody may be punished, but the judge is not personally involved. He is neutral. He is not bothered. If somebody gets some money, he is not bothered, right? He is neutral. He doesn't get the money, right? They receive the money. So he is like neutral. And if somebody goes to jail, he's punished, there also he is neutral. He doesn't receive anything, right? He is not punished. So he is neutral. So, like the judge, Krishna also, he controls everything, but yet he remains unaffected. But still, one thing we should understand, this does not mean that he is inactive. See, in the spiritual world, Krishna is always joyfully engaged. Like he's always busy with his unalloyed devotees over there. He's always enjoying pastimes with them. Okay? So we should understand that the material creation is carried out by his energies. So Krishna supervises through his energies and material nature works. Okay, but Krishna is happily enjoying in Goloka Vrindavan with his devotees, and he is running the material world through his energies. He is unentangled, right? That's what we have to understand. So, eighth shloka, they are trying to explain. See, modern concept. So, there is gradual evolution of species from one to another, beginning from creation. So, modern concept is what? What do they say? One thing after another, one thing after another, they have come slowly. That is what the modern concept says. So, gradually, evolution of species has come. Like from, they say that from this has come, from this has come, like that. Slowly, one by one, it has come. But what we have learned in Krishna's creation, it is just manifest and unmanifest. It is already there. The only thing is it disappears and it appears. But modern people, they are saying that gradually, one after one after one after, everything has come. Okay, beginning from creation, they are saying, but that concept is wrong. Okay, but Krishna's creation is everything is already created. Only thing is it disappears and appears. Right? It becomes manifest and unmanifest. Okay, discussion on Lord Krishna's relationships with creation and destruction. So, material world is the inferior energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This we know. So, how Krishna's creation refutes the modern. See how Krishna's creation refutes. It does not agree to the modern concept. Why? How the material world is maintained if Krishna as Paramesvara is aloof. See, we are saying that Krishna is not directly in touch with the material world. Then how is this world running or maintained? That's the answer they're trying to give here. So Krishna's supreme will is always present. No direct involvement of the Lord. He himself does not create or destroy. What is the basis of creation? Everything is definitely under supreme will of the Lord, because how he enters as three Vishnu forms in the Mahat Tattva to create. Material nature acts by Lord's desire, which implies Krishna has no direct involvement but acts through material nature. Creation takes place to accommodate inclinations or the desires of the various living entities. See, why is it that this creation material world gets annihilated and again, I mean, like, why is it again and again being manifest and unmanifest? Is that the reason they are saying is because the desires of the living entities are not getting are never ending. Okay, so to fulfill their desires, again the world has to be created. See, to accommodate inclinations or the desires of the various living entities. See, until their desires are fulfilled, the creation has to keep on taking place. That's why it keeps on happening. Manifest, unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest, again and again.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji?
Mataji, like you said na that then when a person dies, then he acquires a new body according to the karma
Yes,
which
Prabhuji.
they did. So
Hmm.
Mataji, my question is uh, that does the karma of a person affects his consciousness?
That is karma, right, Prabhuji? His consciousness is itself karma, right? Whatever he has,
Yes.
see, whatever he has done throughout his life, that karma only, that karma only comes as consciousness in the end of his life, right? Karma means what? performing duties, the activities, right? Karma means what? Work. The work that you have done throughout your life, that in the end it comes as a short reel to your, and that is what you catch in the end of your life, and that determines your next birth.
Yes.
Right, Prabhuji? Yeah.
So Mataji, like whatever wish the or desire, spiritual or material desire, comes to the mind of the living entity during uh, the end of his life, and he ask about his birth. So does that particular desire, it comes according to the karma of the living entity?
That's what Prabhuji, it is not. The karma means, please try to understand. See, whatever, see, karma means what? It is like whatever activities. Karma means what, Prabhuji? It is work. Another name for karma is work. Your duties that you're doing. That is your karma. See, if you work, you get some good or bad reaction, right? So that karma throughout whatever you do is what catches your mind. See, if you're mostly on material activities, your work that you're doing, your karma or work that you're doing is mostly material. So you will be caught up at the end of life. So those memories only will be there in your mind, right? Your consciousness will be mostly on like your property or wealth or money or your family members, so everything material. So whatever is mostly attached to you, that will catch your mind at that time. And your mind will say, for instance, oh, I'm not able to finish my business properly, I could complete this deal, oh, how I wish I could stay. So if that is what is there in your mind with something related to that, so that is how you'll take birth in your next janma. If it is spiritual, obviously you'll go back to Goloka. So whatever consciousness throughout the life, that karma means what, Prabhuji? The work that you do, right? That whole work, if you summarize it as a reel at the time of death, it comes to your mind. In that also, whatever is mostly you're attached to, that comes to your mind, because maybe you could complete it, or because that's what you like, or whatever. So that catches your mind, and that at the time of death, it decides your next birth. Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Karma means
Mataji.
nothing, Prabhuji, that it's the work that you do. Whatever spiritual or material work that you do, that is karma, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we are talking about the example of the judge, right? See, so think of a high court judge now. See, by his order, see, I mean, like, we finished this, right? Okay, so by his order, some people may go to jail, some will receive money, and someone will be punished. But the judge is not. I mean, like, he's not affected, so he remains neutral. So like that, Krishna, he controls everything, but still he remains unaffected. Okay, so this material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving. Okay, sorry. I didn't read the sloka. Sorry. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and non moving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Okay, so who is actually running? They're saying, who is actually running this universe? See, from outside it looks material nature, it looks so powerful. It creates trees, animals, humans, mountains, oceans. So everything moving and non-moving. Okay, but Krishna says nature, material nature is not independent, it works under my direction. So many people say, everything Prakriti is only doing. Prakriti is only giving mountains, oceans, human beings, is giving birth to human beings, these trees, animals, everything. But Krishna is clarifying here, this material nature is not independent. It works under my direction. Okay, and we should understand the Lord does not physically struggle to create this material world. How does he do it? He simply glances at material nature. Okay, that glance activates creation. Just he glances, gives a look at Prakriti, and the living entities are created. So the whole creation is created. So Krishna says he is the seed giving father. So he, through his glance, he impregnates Prakriti, and the living entities are born. They come into this material nature according to their previous desires and karma. Okay, and immediately the whole creation begins. So Krishna, he activates nature, and nature performs its work, but Krishna, he remains untouched. Okay, so everything is like Krishna remains untouched. Through his energies, he gets everything done. 9.11 Avajananti Mamuda Manashim Tanum Ashritam Param Bhavam Ajananto Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. Okay, so when Krishna, he comes to this material world, he looks like a normal human being, like Krishna with two hands, two legs, everything. So some people, they think he is just a man, a powerful leader, or a mythological hero. Okay, but this is because of ignorance. So we should understand the person who created this universe, who maintains this universe, who destroys this universe cannot be an ordinary human. We should understand that. Okay, it's only the ignorant people who think that he's an ordinary person. Okay, see, in this world, we see there are many controllers. Like, see, for example, if there is a manager, above him there's a director, above him there is a minister, above him there is a president. So each controls something, but they are again controlled by someone higher. But Krishna is the supreme controller. He is not controlled by anyone. He is the highest controller. See, for us, if we see there is somebody above us who controls and somebody above who controls them, right? But Krishna is the ultimate controller. There's no one above him who can control him. Okay, so in Brahma Samhita it is said that Ishwaraha Parama Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme Lord. Okay, beyond Krishna there is, or equal to Krishna, there is nobody. Okay, and Krishna's body is not material. See, even though he appears like a human, his body is Sat Chit Ananda. It is eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. Ananda, right? So it is not made of flesh and bones like ours. See, when he appeared before the Devaki and Vasudeva, he first showed his four-armed Vishnu form. Okay, then on the request of his parents, then he became like a normal two-handed baby, right? So that is, let's see, an ordinary child cannot be first born as Vishnu and then he cannot become as an ordinary child, right? So this itself shows that Krishna is not an ordinary human being. An ordinary child can't do this, right? So he can show, so that's why Krishna is not ordinary. Why? Ordinary, why? Because he can show his four-armed form as Vishnu. He showed his universal form. Okay. So that's why, because of all this, we can understand that he is not an ordinary person. And we cannot restrict Krishna to come like he can come like you can't say because he is God, he has to come like God only. So he can come like a normal person, two-handed person like Krishna, right? Though he comes like Krishna, We should not think that he is an ordinary human being with no powers, nothing. He's still God himself. He's transcendental. He has all the powers like God because he's God himself. Okay. And so why do people deride him? The Krishna is saying, right? Fools deride me. Why do people deride Krishna? Because they judge by external appearance. Because when they see Krishna as a charioteer or a friend of Arjuna or a politician in Kurukshetra, because he goes as a politician, right, to convince Duryodhana for at least to give 5 pieces of land. So they think he's a politician. But they see all these things, but they don't see Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay. And one more thing in the purport is mentioned, like about Prabhupada mentions about temple worship. Some people say, if God is everywhere, why worship him in a temple? Anybody has the answer to this? See, if Krishna is everywhere, generally we say, right, God is everywhere in the material nature, every part, atom, he's there. Then why do we need, why should we worship God in the temple specifically? Any reason, anybody?
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Generally, there is a saying that in temple is a place where lot of positive energy we can gain, because the mantras, the japas, whatever abhishekams, it's all chanted continuously. So I don't know. To my knowledge, I'm just telling. So
Yeah, that
Vedic
is one reason.
chanting.
Correct. You're right. Absolutely right. That positive
So
energy is there over there.
Vedic energies, Vedic chantings, that mantras, that whatever they are doing, it is around the shrine, it is around the temple premises. So when you walk, when you enter into it, even your negative energy becomes calm. You become calm. When you come around that temple with the bare feet, why do we walk in bare feet also? There is a reason, right? Because the earth and we get connected, so that energy enters into our body, and our negative, whatever thoughts we may have, that time we may become calm, composed, and we surrender. We seriously get into and says, God, please help us. So that
Yes.
sort of thing only we go. At home also we get, but we don't get that complete positive energy, I feel so. That is what.
Yeah, perfect, Mataji. That is one reason. Definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare
So here,
Krishna.
So there is Hari Om, Mataji. There's another thing that when they install the idol of the Lord in a temple, they take into consideration Lord the Panchabhutas, and there's a specific way of establishing the deity's idol for maximum high vibrations to the devotees. So it considering all the elements and the magnetic energy of the earth and all those factors which make a huge difference by ripple effect, enhancing the energies of people visiting and bringing them to the god qualities. So that is one of the, and they put in the spirit into the idol by that process we have heard in Ram Mandir. uh, the moment they open the eyes of the deity. So,
yeah, actually opened in the India.
they put the life in the idol. Uh, so that is how that energy we go there to get the God energy.
No,
Uh,
actually, I think Mataji, what you said is right, actually. So, and one more thing is like, there is no difference between the deity at our house and the deity in that temple, actually speaking, because when we install the deities in our house also, we do prana pratishtha. So it's like the deity is Krishna himself. So he is there. The same amount of energy that is there in the temple, the deity, is same amount of energy is present in the deity at our house also. So generally, people, they have this wrong notion that I want to go to the temple and do service there to that Krishna in the temple. But it is the same Krishna. If you do the same offering here to your deity at home, and you do the same seva, it is the same thing. See, instead of going and like if you have the time and if your house everybody permits that, well and good, you can go and do seva there. But it's the same benefit. See, whatever you are going and cooking in the temple for the deities there is equal to cooking boga at your house and offering it to the deity in your house. So generally we have this thing, that wrong notion that the deity in my house is of less importance. It does not have that much power. The deity in the temple has more power, and nothing like that. Because our deity is also prana pratishtha is done. So Krishna is personally present there, and it's the same amount of power that is there in the deity of the temple is there in your deity at home. Okay, so we can happily, serve our deity Krishna at home. It gives the same amount of effect that you when you do in the temple. So that we should not forget at all. Okay,
Yes, Mataji, absolutely. Because what you have already also told many a times, because we talk to God, we talk to Krishna, we say, well, this is what we prepared, this is also when we know that we are talking to
right.
Him in presence. So obviously, we know He is there with us every moment. It is not only in temple. It is not only in house also. I feel that even you travel, you walk, you go anywhere, you can see next to you Krishna or in your heart. Like that is different. But when we say the duality is there, and when you can talk, when we becomes friend, prana saka, we will definitely feel that. But as you asked, then temple means because of this reason, the positivity is there. That's it. Otherwise, it's all individual person, as
Yeah,
you rightly said, how they take it up and how they, get connected with Krishna.
definitely, Mataji. Yeah, definitely. So generally, what is this thing is like, see, if he's generally present everywhere, so he's also present in the temple, it means, right? Right. So if he's present throughout the world, he's present in the temple also. So why not we go to the temple also? See, it's like this. See, not everybody is able to recognize or see Krishna in every part of the universe. Right? How many of us daily we go to work or we go for shopping? How many of us see Krishna in everything? Do we literally see Krishna? No, right? At least when we go to the temple, when we have a designated place where we can focus on Krishna, that is the temple. At least that few minutes or few, how many hours we spend, it is totally on Krishna. So that is why temples are built, because even though sometimes we know that everything in this world Krishna is present as Paramatma, but how far do we see everything? See, it's like this. See, in the atmosphere, air is present everywhere. So when your car tire loses air, so the air is present, right, in the atmosphere. Then why don't you catch it and put it into your tire? Why do you go to that specific car tire pumper, that person, and then you get it pumped? So much air is there outside in the atmosphere, right? So take it and just fill it. Is it possible? No, right? In the atmosphere, though so much air is there,
We need those instruments to
yeah,
push the air into the tire.
that particular thing should be need, that particular instrument is needed so that that air goes in. So like that, though we know that in the atmosphere Krishna is present everywhere in every particular thing, even in an atom. See, sometimes we are not able to recognize him. So at least if there is a something designated as a temple, so that means that temple is fully focused on Krishna or the deity. So we will at least be able to focus on Krishna at that particular time. That's why temples are built, so that we have that a remembrance of God. Though we know outside, Krishna is present, but how long? We are so busy in this material world that we forget that Krishna is present in this tree, in this living being, in this fruit, in this table, in this desk. We forget. But when we go to the temple, we understand, oh, we are going to the temple of God. So our whole mind, we become, respectful, our mood, our attitude, everything changes when we enter the temple. So that's why our temples are specially built. Okay, so a mature devotee, he understands this truth that Krishna is a person, Krishna is all pervading. He lives eternally in a spiritual abode, but by his energies, he is present everywhere. Okay, by his energies, he is present everywhere in this material world. Jananti. So understanding, knowing about Lord Krishna in truth. So if you know about Lord Krishna in truth, what happens? It leads to liberation. Ajananti. So ignorance of Lord means what? You continue on the cycle of birth and death. See, if you practice Krishna consciousness, you will get liberation. If you don't practice, you will be stuck up in a cycle of birth and death. Avajananti. So misunderstanding about Krishna will lead to increased bondage. So greater sufferings. Okay, so increased bondage, further increased bondage. Okay, so next shloka. Mogasha moga karmano moga gnana vichetasaha rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shrita. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. Okay, so Krishna is saying those who are bewildered take shelter of demonic and atheistic views. So, in that deluded condition, their hopes, their actions, and their knowledge are all defeated. Okay, so let's see what he's saying. Krishna is saying. See, what does bewildered mean here? So, see, Krishna is saying those who are thus bewildered. So, who are those people? People who mock Krishna, like they think that Krishna is an ordinary human. They refuse to accept him as the supreme Lord. So, because of this misunderstanding, three things become fruitless. So, three conditions he is telling, right? Their hopes for liberation, fruitive activities, and culture of knowledge are defeated. So, what is that three things that become fruitless? Moghasha. Moghasha means baffled hopes. So, they may hope for liberation, peace, spiritual success, right? But if they reject the Supreme Person, they don't achieve that goal. Right? See, these people, they want liberation, but they don't accept Krishna as a supreme person. But they will get liberation only if they accept Krishna as a supreme person, right? So that's why they don't achieve that goal. Their goal becomes fruitless. Okay, and next, what they are saying, so their hopes become, because they don't accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, they don't get liberation. Next, moga karmanaha means what? Karma means actions, the work. So baffled actions. Okay, so they may perform nice pious deeds, rituals, charity, severe austerity, but without recognizing the supreme personality behind everything. So the result becomes temporary. See, if you do any activity like social activity, not to please Krishna, you do it in general, it becomes a pious activity. It becomes a material activity. So it's of no use. It is temporary, right? But if you do any charity to please Krishna, it becomes spiritual. It becomes a karma. But if you do it leaving Krishna behind, that is like it becomes material. So again, this also becomes fruitless. Right? So baffled actions, moga karmanaha. And third one is moga gnanaha, means baffled knowledge. So these people, they may study Vedanta, Upanishads, philosophical texts, but if their conclusion is that I am God, or Krishna is just an ordinary man, so then they don't understand the real truth. See, when you study the Vedas and the Upanishads, you are supposed to understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But after reading all that, if they don't understand that and they say that I am God or Krishna is just an ordinary man, then they didn't understand anything. Right? So they get baffled knowledge. So this also becomes fruitless. So here, the demonic nature they are saying. So what does demonic nature means? See, demonic means you should not, please don't think that there'll be horns and teeth coming, protruding from the mouth and horns on the head. Here, demonic means envy of God. So refusal to surrender to God. Okay, they have pride that they are so intelligent, or these people, they deny the supreme controller. Like we've seen, right? Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana. They think they are only God. They don't want somebody above them. They are so proud. They don't. They deny any supreme controller, right? So they envy God. They don't want to surrender in front of them. So that's such people, their mindsets. What do you say? Such kind of people, they keep their souls. It keeps rotating in this cycle of birth and death because they don't accept Krishna, right? In anything, they don't accept Krishna, so they don't get liberation. We've seen three cases, right? Mogasha, Moga Karmana, and Moga Gnana. So we saw in the three aspects, they don't understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So where is the chance for liberation for them? So they keep stuck up and they keep rotating in the cycle of birth and death. See, fate of those who, out of bewilderment, disrespect Krishna's form. They are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. Hopes for liberation. See, liberation they can't get, fruitive activities and culture of knowledge, all are defeated. Okay, 9.13. Mahatmanastu mam pardha daivim prakritimashritah bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So, here in this shloka, very important. So, Krishna is speaking about Mahatmas. See, he's saying Mahatmanastu Mam Pardha. So, he's talking about great souls, Mahatma. So, Mahatma means a great soul. Means he's great not because of his money or his position or his followers, but because he has many number of followers. He is great because their heart is fully connected to Krishna. And Krishna says such souls are under Daivi Prakriti. Daivim Prakritim Ashritaha. So they are under the protection of divine nature. See, most people are controlled by material nature because they have many desires, anger, ego, fear. But a Mahatma is protected by spiritual energy. Okay, so this generally the material nature, it keeps us bound in all these desires, but Mahatmas are protected by the divine nature, okay, spiritual energy. So, and one more point the Prabhupada says in the purport is, these Mahatmas, they have one pointed mind, means Ananya Manasa, Bhajanti Ananya Manaso, means one pointed mind they have. See, their mind does not wander away, their mind is always on Krishna. So they know that Krishna is the origin of everything, he is the cause of all causes, he is inexhaustible. So, because they know all this, the Mahatmas, their devotion is steady. It's not that today their devotion is strong, tomorrow it is weak. Not like that. It's not like I will do nice bhakti when I go to the temple, and I mean, like once I come out of the temple again, I forget everything. See, in many of us, we go to the temple nicely, we do seva, but once we come out of the temple, we forget everything. Again, we fall into our material activities. Not, they are not like that. Not that they're faithful in the temple, and once they come out of the temple, they forget everything. No, it's not like that. Outside also, they are faithful to Krishna. They always remember Krishna. So whatever be the situation, they are always steady in their devotional service. Okay, that's why they're called Mahatmas. Satatam kirtayanto mam yadantascha dridhavrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. See, now, after describing who a Mahatma is, Krishna now is showing how a Mahatma lives. How does he live? He's saying, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, means always chanting my glories. So they always chant and glorify Krishna, not with a microphone, not in a temple. So their life itself becomes Kirtan. Kirtan means what? Their cooking becomes an offering. Speaking becomes glorification. Their daily duties, whatever they're doing, that becomes service. So that is Satatam Kirtayantamam. It's not like taking a mic and singing a kirtan, or in the temple you do bhajan, nothing like that. So whatever work they do, that itself becomes a kirtan. Like when they cook, that becomes an offering. When they speak, it becomes glorification. Speaking means they speak about Krishna, right? So it becomes a glorification. So whatever duty they are doing, that becomes service, right? So everything is like whatever they do is like for the service of Krishna, right? So for someone practicing devotion at home, like if anybody is practicing devotion at home, even like if they are doing dal ka tadka, that also becomes meditation, because they are doing it with remembrance of Krishna. Right? Not that you have to do all this in the temple. At home also, whatever you're doing, right? Do it with the remembrance of Krishna. That is what such people are called Mahatma. So wherever you are, if you're always thinking and doing, thinking of Krishna and doing that work, so you are a Mahatma, right? And next, what are they saying? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavrata. So dridavrata means what? Firm determination. Is there any explanation for this? See, external. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Next is yatantascha dridavrata. So dridavrata means what? Firm determination. Drida means firm. Vrata, determination. So like devotion is not like a weekend hobby. So it is a constant practice. It is a steady promise. See, like observing Ekadashi regularly, following the instructions of the acharyas, and staying fixed even when the mind becomes restless. Okay, even when the mind is disturbed, you still continue to do your seva or whatever you're chanting, you're reading, you're hearing. You don't compromise at all. So your seva or sadhana should be steady. Okay, even when the mind is disturbed. See, a Mahatma, he does not quit because of small difficulties. So that is Drida Vrata. His faith is like he has firm determination. Whatever be the reason, I will do it. There should be no hindrance in my service to Krishna. I will do it. Whatever difficulties are there. So he is Drida Vrata. Next, Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya. Okay, so they offer, Krishna is saying they offer obeisances with love, not mechanically. See, whenever we go to the temple, automatically, without our knowledge, we just join hands. I mean, like, I don't know, it is out of respect that we do, or we don't know, I don't know. It just automatically comes to our hand. So these Mahatmas, they not mechanically, they offer obeisances, not out of fear or something, but they offer obeisances with gratitude. Okay, Namasyanta means they offer obeisances out of gratitude, not just mechanically or something like that, right? So next, Nitya Yukta Upasate means they're always, Nitya means always, Yukta Upasate, they're always connected to Krishna. See, not sometimes spiritual, sometimes forgetful, not like that. Their mind returns to Krishna always. Their mind is always on Krishna. It's not that when we are doing seva in the temple, our mind is with Krishna, and then once we come out of the temple, again we become material. No, not like that. Nityam, always their mind is on Krishna. So here we should understand one point, important point from the purport that Prabhupada says. See, a Mahatma means like Generally, we think, oh, how can we become like Mahatmas? We think that like Mahatmas, they cannot be made by title or rubber stamp. Okay, not by dress alone, not by position, but by steady devotion. So we may think to become a Mahatma is so difficult, are they really there? Yes, they are really there. And we can see Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, and our disciples of Prabhupada. So they're all Mahatmas. They are there. So, but the only thing is like we have to do steady devotion. The Mahatmas, they do steady devotion. They're attached to Krishna's holy name, form, qualities, pastimes, and they don't believe in this impersonal Brahmajyoti. They want to have a personal relationship with Krishna. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, they don't want to merge into the impersonal Brahmajyoti and lose their individuality. And after liberation, they, like if they merge into the impersonal Brahman, there's no relationship, there's no service. That they don't want. Even after liberation, they want service, they want to maintain that relationship with Krishna, they want that service. Okay, they want that relationship with Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So 15. Gnana yagnena chapyanye yajanto mamupasate ekatvena pratatvena bahudha vishvato mukham. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. So we saw one kind of Mahatma who is totally into devotional service, who takes Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But there are others who are, who don't consider Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like we said, right? They take Krishna as impersonal Brahman. So that is what they're talking about in this shloka. See, engage in the cultivation of knowledge, worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second. So we'll understand what that is. See, now after describing the pure Mahatmas, Krishna now explains others who also worship him, but in different ways. So worship, one way is worship through knowledge, that is Gnana Yoga. Okay, some people worship Krishna through philosophical study, that is Gnana. So we know all about Gnana Yogi, right? So they understand that they're the soul and they want to connect with the impersonal Brahman, right? So that is Gnana Yagna, sacrifice through knowledge. So they read all these Vedas, Upanishads, they understand that they're the soul and they want to lose their individuality, they want to merge into the impersonal Brahman. So in this, also Gnana Yagna, there are three types mentioned. Okay, there are totally three types. See, one, Krishna says, such people worship him in three main ways. So one is like, first we saw, right, as one without a second. They think that God and I are ultimately one, like the impersonal Brahman. So they merge and become one. So that is one kind. Okay, one kind of worship is that way. And next is what? As separate and many forms. Pratatvena. So first Ekatvena. So third line you see, please see. Ekatvena means you become one, merge and lose your individuality and you merge into your impersonal Brahman and you become one. Ekatvena. One with impersonal Brahmajyoti. Pratatvena means what? Means separate in many forms. Like they're talking about the demigods here. See, many people, they think worshipping any demigod is same as Krishna. Like they think that worshipping Durga is Durga is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And some people, they worship Shiva and they think that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So any demigod they take, all the demigods, that's why we see many people, on Monday they worship one demigod, Tuesday they worship one demigod. That's why they get scared. What if I don't worship this demigod? This demigod will curse me, or that. And they keep worshipping all the demigods, thinking everybody is supreme. But if they understand one concept, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the remaining 36 crores of demigods are his part and parcel, then it becomes so easy. If you just worship the root Krishna, everybody else is satisfied. Okay, first impersonal Brahman we talked about, second is about the demigods we talked about, and third is like universal form, Vishwarupa. So Vishwato Mukham, right? In the last line we can see Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. Okay, about the universal. Some worship, see, the entire universe as God. Some people, they don't believe in the physical form of Lord. So they worship the nature itself as God, the universal form as God. They think that the sky is Krishna's body, the mountain as his bones, the rivers as his veins. So the universe, total universe itself, they think is a form of Lord. But this universal form is only a material form. It is not eternal form. That we should understand. It is just a manifested form for Arjuna, because Arjuna asks, Krishna shows this material form. Okay, it is not Krishna's eternal form, and it is not there in Vaikuntha like Rama, Narsimha. They don't have their eternal places in Vaikuntha. So this Vishwarupa is just a material form. It exists as long as the material world is there, and when this goes away, that is also not visible. Okay. So what is the difference? See, in the earlier shlokas we saw, right, in 13 and 14, the Mahatma was described as fully devoted, fixed on Krishna, personally attached to his form. But here in 9.15, the worship is less direct. Okay, it is worship, yes, definitely, but not yet full personal surrender. Because one is worshipping in impersonal Brahma Jyoti, one is worshipping as Vishwarupa, universal form, and one as demigods. Right? All are like indirect worshipping of Krishna. Right? Not direct worshipping. That's why they're saying it is less direct. Okay, so even they are like Mahatmas, they worship Krishna as Bhagavan, but these people also are worshipping Krishna, but indirectly. Right? So that is what we have to understand. So we will stop here for today. So 16th we'll take tomorrow. And please, devotees, I think there was